Dennis, and I work here at Odoo as a business analyst. I serve in the Nairobi office, serving the whole African region. So today is very interesting because we're going to look on a very interesting topic on how to do customization of PDF reports using Odoo Studio. So for our existing customers who are already using Odoo, you know Odoo is has already ready-made reports for different reporting. For example, invoices and this other kind of report. But for some reason, you might want to do customization of the report that exists, or you want to create fully new report from scratch. So I'll just go ahead and show you exactly how to do that, because initially, if you have been using Odoo, you realize we have been improving on how you are able to do the customization of this report. And for the very new customers who have not used Odoo before, Odoo is a business suite applications that help you manage your business, from accounting to sales to inventory and all sort of business operations. So I'll just go directly to the agenda of today's webinar. Let's proceed. So what we are going to look at today is how you're going to use Odoo Studio to customize your report, either existing report or the new report. So this is how it is used to look like before. So most of you might be familiar with this kind of view. So initially we used to drag and drop blocks from the toolbar, but nowadays it's not the same case. So it is changed for better, because we have a better way to do it that will not be complex, and you will be able to do more with the new features than what was there initially. So this is what was there, and it had limitations. Initially you had only 4 blocks on your report, and this is what you could use to customize anything you wanted. So you only had option of either using these 4 blocks initially. This one had limitation. So this is what you are going to have now. So you will see you will have a totally blank page that you can decide where you want to put what. And you will have more flexibility with this one, with this kind of feature than what you had initially. Okay. So why did we change? This one has been changed because to give you a better experience, because you are able to pull any report or any details from your data to your report with ease and without necessarily wondering where you will be pulling where, as I'm going to show you. So the complexity has been reduced, and you have more flexibility on how to adjust your PDF report. Okay. At the end of the session as well, I will show you exactly some of the changes that you might want to do further by having access to HTML editor, where you will be able to change how the code looks like. So here we'll look at how to customize the report themselves, but at some point you may want to go ahead and customize the HTML as well. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Okay. So we'll directly jump to the demo so that I'm able to show you exactly what to do. Feel free to note down your questions on the comment section. At the end of the demo, I'll be able to go through all the questions and to answer them as I could, and some to even respond to you later on. Okay, so let's jump directly to the demo. Okay. Okay, so what I prepared for this demo is I created a examination module that I will just use to record the student details and record the student report, and I will show you how to create this report from scratch, since this is a very new module that does not exist. So that means there's no report that exists already. So I will just go ahead and show you exactly how the module works, and then I will show you how to customize the report. So this module has been created fully from scratch using Studio application again, the same application we're going to use to customize this PDF report. Okay, so this is how the module looks like. So the module contains the student details. So this one again, you can customize it to look or to be able to contain any details of the student you may want to capture. So creating a new student, you just go ahead and click on new, put the student name, for example, maybe Johnson, and then you can put any other details you want. Maybe the teacher assigned to this student, and maybe the high ID number of the student, and the guardian, okay, maybe Rose. Okay. So this, note that this view you will be able to customize it further, more than just what I've done using Studio. You will be able to put more details that you may want to capture for the student. And then we have a terms registration. So here you will have, these are the terms that has already been closed, but we have running terms that I will use to show you exactly what you need to record. But to record a new term, you just need to click on new, you put the term details, the closing date of this term, and you register student in those terms. And at the end of the term, you will come in the term module to record the result of the student. Okay. So let's go ahead. This is the term that I'll just be using to show you exactly how you will be able to customize the reports for. So again, totally made from Studio application. So it is capturing a very few details, but you can just tailor it to your own needs using Studio. So to record the student details, you just need to select the student that have been registered for this term, and you put the subject, the scores per subject of what they have scored. Maybe you select a new student in case there's a new student that has been added, let's say Joseph, yeah, and then you put the scores that Joseph scored. On science subject, he scored 60. On mathematics subject, he scored 70. And on history subject, he scored 90, for example. Okay. So you have these terms correctly registered, and you have student and the teacher has recorded the scores of this student. So I'm just going to show you how you'll be able to create this report for the whole class, showing the term details and the student details and their scores. Apart from that, we are also going to create a report that will show student results individually, not in general class results. So this module here, I've pulled this data to a new menu here, where you can see them populated again, and you can come here and maybe group them by term so that you see the student per terms. Okay. So we jump directly to it, and then I show you exactly how we will be creating this report. So let's go to the terms. So we are in this term. I will just open our Studio application. You see the icon on my top right. You click the Studio application. Okay. And in this view, you click on reports. So this one will show you existing reports on this module. But because this one is a new module that we created, there is no existing report that is there already. So what you will do, you click new to create a very new report, and here you will be able to select the type of report you want to choose from. So you have three options to select: an external template for your report. This one contains your organization or company details or school details. So the details that you would set, like your company address or school address or organization address, they will be contained here. It will have the company header and company footer. And then you can have an internal report that does not necessarily include the addresses. You just have a minimal header and footer. And then you can as well even create a report from a very blank page. You start with a blank page, and then you customize everything from that page. So because I want my report to contain our company details or our school details, I'll choose the option for external template that has company header and footer. So once you select it like that, so you will notice at the top here you have this header and footer already populated from the header layout, and you have the footer as well populated. So the first thing is to give your report a name. Okay, so this one is class. I will just call it class result slip. Class result slip. and then I go ahead to customize my report. So this, as you can see, this report is totally blank, but we will customize it to on any way we will want. Okay, so let's go ahead. Here what I will want to put, I will just put an heading of the report. Okay, so I'll choose heading 1. So you will see everything we'll be able to do is just be putting a backslash, and we select options that are available. Okay, so I've put heading 1, and I will call it class. Let me just retype class result slip. And now I can capture the details that I want. Okay, so what I will do, I will just split my report into 2. So how do I do that? I just click a backslash like this, and I type on columns. So when you select on columns, you'll be able to see how can I split this section. Maybe I want to split it in 3 columns, in 4 columns. So I just choose to display it in 2 columns. Okay, so I just display it in 2 columns like this, and in the first column I can put all the details I want in the first column, and all the other details in the second column. So let me put a few details on the first column. So here I'll just put heading again, and I can choose maybe heading 3, and here I will have term name. Okay, term name. So whatever name you choose while registering the term, this is what will be picked here. So what I've just put here is just a text, okay, but I want it to pull from our terms the names that we will be using while registering the terms. So I'll just click on backslash again, and now what I want to pull is a field, because I'm sure this field exists in my terms. So I just click on field, and here I will find that field. I will find the term name, this one, okay, and then I can put a default value. Default value is what will be displayed in case this reporter has not pulled any data from whatever you have tried to pull. In case the field is empty, then this default value is what will be pulled. So let me the name, I can just call it just a name. Then I go to the next line. Okay, I'll still use the same heading, heading 3, and here I want to see the closing date of this term. Closing date. Closing. Okay, let's just call it closing date, and then I want to pull that field closing date. Okay, so I'll type closing date here, and I see the field that I created is here. I pull it closing date, so I just call it date. Okay, so the good thing is with this one, as I mentioned, you have the flexibility of how you want your report being displayed. So if I look at it, because all these one are of the same font, maybe I want to put this label on as on bold, for example. So I'll put bold, and then I select the other one as well. I put bold. Okay. So what other details you may want to pull? You will proceed to pull them on this view like this. Okay, but the most important now is as displaying the results. So you will realize this report are dynamic. So if you have 10 students, then you will have 10 rows in the table. If you have 5 students, 50 students, you will have the number of rows as the same number of students that you have registered. So here what we can use is I will put backslash. Okay, I'll put backslash, and I select dynamic table, a table that can grow or reduce. Okay, so I put dynamic table. Okay, and where is this dynamic table? It is in the lines of our times module. So this is the one that I want to pull. So what is the default value of the first column, or what do I want to pull in the first column? I'll just say student. I just want to pull student. Okay, I click on enter. So if you look at my table, I've started editing my table here, and you can see the first column is student. So what exactly do I want to pull on student? Here now I can similar way to how I have pulled the term name and closing date, I will pull now the student names. So I put backslash and I will select on the field, and here I need to find student. Okay, so I'll type on student, and here is the student. I select on it. I select on the student field, and a default value, I just call it student. Okay, and enter. So I have my first column of my table. So if this is enough for what I want for this report, I will just leave it here. But I want more columns. I want the columns that displays the subject. So for you to add a next column, you will click here on this top bar here. You click on it and you select where you want to insert the next column. So I want to insert my next column on my right. So I click, and it has been added like this. But before that, I think, as you can see, the way I split my report is still affecting how the table will be split. I don't want my table to be split in 2 columns. So the first thing I can do is to change the layout of my dynamic table. So I will just what I will just do is I will just refresh this one, and I just want to use 1 column. Okay, so I select on columns, and I don't want columns on my dynamic table. So I will just redo that part again quickly. So this is my report. I want to pull on student, enter. Okay, so you can see my dynamic table now is it occupies the whole page. I don't want it split in the rows like that. So I have my first column. I proceed and again insert my next column on my right like that, and you can see it has been inserted here. I put it heading. This time I want to pull the subject. So I just pull. You will customize it based on the subject that you're offering, or based on the columns that you desire. So in this case, I just want to pull the subject that our school is offering. So I just pull the science subject, science, and I will just give it a better name. Maybe I will say it is a science percentage, and here I just pull that field that contains science subject. Okay, so in our fields, I type here and I find my science field. I open it, and the default value, I just give it science. So the next subject I want to pull on my right, I just insert another column on my right, is mathematics, for example. Mathematics. And below it, I pull that field that contains mathematics subject. This field, and I find mathematics. You can just call it. Okay, I think I am done with my dynamic table. Any other details you want to pull, you will just proceed the way we have done this top part. Okay. Okay. Just now a minute. Okay, let's go on. So, any other details I may want to put in my report, I'll be able to populate it from here. So let me just put the next thing I want to put on this report. Maybe it is a way of the class teacher or whoever to just comment. I'll just say class teacher. So let me just put it as heading, as a subheading header, and then I will choose maybe heading 3, and I will say class teachers comments, just like that. So this is how my report looks as of now. So I can just save it, and you can just have a look on how the report looks like. So I'll just save it. We go back. Okay. So for how do you print the report? You go to the term that you want, any of the terms. You go to the term that you have populated details here, and now because the term exists, you will have an option to print the report from here. So I click on the print button of my report, and my report opens, and you can see at the moment this is how my report looks like. Okay, so these are the details that are being pulled at the top here. They are pulled from the company header. Okay, I'll show you how to customize this one as well, but not necessarily with Studio, because just a few details. I'll show you how to customize that. And then the body of the report is what we have customized. So in case you want to add more details on this report, on how it looks like, you can just go ahead to back to editing the report. If you remember, we put another column here. You can add more details here, or if you have extra columns you want to add, or if you want to add something else below the report. Okay. But one more thing now that I want to show you is if you clearly look here, you can see our subject are pulled as decimals, okay, and not percentages. So I will show you how to customize this widget using the HTML editor, so that at least you see how you will be able to edit that. So we'll go to the HTML editor and look on how we can add a widget for percentage that will help you display this one as percentages. Because if we go back here to the report, this one as well, these are decimal. The actual field of these subjects are decimals, but we have displayed them here as percentages. So you have to do the same thing on the report as well. Okay. Okay. Right. So let's go back to the report, and then I show you how to customize using the HTML editor. So I will just open the Studio again. Okay. I will open Studio, and I go to my report. This is the report that we have created. So what we want to customize is these 3 columns that displays the results. So if you look here on your left, you will see edit sources. So this is where you'll be able to access the HTML editor to put the widgets that will display these values as percentages. Okay, so you click on edit sources. Okay, and this is the HTML of the report. So this one can be a little bit technical. So if you're technical, you can try it yourself, or you can have a guidance of someone who understands the language, and then they can help you to customize. So these are the 3 fields that we want to edit or to modify. So I will just copy one line snippet of code, and then I just insert it there, and then you will see exactly how to do that. Okay, just a minute. So we are back to our report. So here I will just remove this T field and just reinsert the one that has a percentage template. I just paste it like that. Okay. That one is for mathematics. Just okay. Okay. So I'll just modify what I have here to these fields. Okay. Okay, so I think I've missed a syntax here. Let me just again check on it. Okay, yeah, this one. So just multiply by 100. Same case here. Okay, so I think that's it. So if we now try to print our report, class report, okay, so you can see now our report, I've modified it. The result are displayed as percentages, but I've missed the student names column. I'll just reinsert it again. Okay, so I open Studio. I go to our report, this one, and this is the field for student, this one. So just put /field, then I select on student, okay, here, and the default value student, enter, and I'm done. Okay. So we can now review our report back. So this is the report. We try to reprint it back. And this is how our report looks like. Okay. So I think that's the end of our demonstration for the report. Unless if there are questions, I will gladly want to answer them. Okay. Let me just go back to the comment section to check if there are questions. Okay. So I'll start at the top. So hello team, we want the explanation to include the report for customization. So the report should consist the numbers, cash amounts, and invoice totals, meaning the report would be more realistic. So I believe the demonstration has answered the question because we have used the numbers to show, we have used the dynamic table to show how the report grows. So I believe the demonstration has answered. Just in case it hasn't, then I think maybe you can be more specific on the question. But I believe the report has been realistic. You can let me know if it was realistic or no of the demonstration we have done. So Abdul is saying, hello team, I want a CRM customized ERP details. I believe using the same way I've just shown you how to customize the report for this examination module for school, you can use the same way to do a customization of any report that does not exist already on Odoo, even from the CRM or any other Odoo application. Okay. So whenever we want to customize a report, what is required to display data that includes numbers, and amount. Okay, as for writing and describing, this is simple. This is simple thing. So for the numbers and the amount, as you have seen, you just put a backslash if you know the field that contains those amount, then you pull the field instead. Okay, so I think this is still same person. For example, create a customer account statement report according to the type of customer's currency that includes all the incoming and outgoing transactions. The report should include a choice of data. Okay, so for the customer statement report, this report already exists on Odoo, but in case you want to just modify it even further, I think you can still use the same approach. We'll go ahead to check. So, right, okay. Can you build a customized report in the community version? In the community version, you'll be challenged. It is a challenge because you'll not be able to access Studio application. Studio application is available on the enterprise version of Odoo, so you will not be able to do this customization on community version using the Studio application. So how do I change the landscape layout? Okay, so the landscape layout, I'm not sure exactly what you meant by the landscape layout. But I think you can make it more clearer if maybe how you want, if it is the layout, how the layout of the report. If you go to the document customization of the settings of the company, you'll be able to switch from different layouts that exist within Odoo. Okay. Okay. Let me check someone else. How to not show the logo in report without changing the main layout or external layout. Yeah, so for you to not display the logo at the point of creating the report, I showed you 3 options. You have external document, where the one that has the company addresses. You have the internal, the one that has minimum header and footer, and then you have a blank layout. So maybe for your case, what you may want to use, maybe it is the internal or the blank document that doesn't have this header layout and footer layout. Okay. Okay, let me check the next question. Dynamic part, how to select dynamic field model. So for the dynamic part, you just put backslash and you will select dynamic table. That is how you'll be able to choose the dynamic field. Alpha, I am using fleet management, and when I select dynamic field, which model to select? Okay, so it depends on how your data is displayed on the module. If the data is dynamic on list view, then that means you will be able to choose a dynamic table that grows within that list view. Okay, but I'm not sure exactly which data you may want to pull on the fleet module. In case you know exactly what you want to pull, I think you can make it more clearer on the comment, and I will be able to still get back to you. To align or add widget to the content, do we need to edit the HTML code which is available in Studio left side? Am I right? Yeah, you have. If you want to use the widget, at the moment you will put them on the HTML editor on your left. Okay, I think that's all with questions. In case there is any other questions that we have not been able to answer, feel free as you watch the demo to drop them on the chat. We will be visiting the comment to see the questions and respond them as soon as we can. Okay. I think there's one last question before we close the webinar. And while I'm working, I faced a few difficulty in image placing. While I drag and drop the image looked good in preview, but when the print is report alignment is not proper. Okay, so I think what you can do is, before you pull the image itself, make sure you align using maybe the columns. For example, if you want it on your left or in the center, you can maybe pull 3. If you want it on your far right, you can maybe use 2 columns or 4 columns, and then on the last column you pull the image field. I believe that one answers. Not very sure exactly what you meant, but in case it doesn't align, you have to align the layout first before you pull the report. Okay, I think we'll close here. Even after the closing of webinar, what we will do is we'll be following the chat, and we'll be able to respond to you directly on the chat. And in case you have not found help at all from the chat, feel free to go to odoo.com, and you'll be able to either ask a question from the support team, or request a call with an expert. Okay, so I will close here, and see you next time, guys.